The city of Vallejo, California is still reeling from a bombshell investigation into police misconduct in 2023. According to a team of investigative journalists, there were reports of at least 4 violent deaths in police custody that were allegedly concealed by the city. But now the nonprofit Open Vallejo says there's an additional death of a 5th man at the hands of police, also allegedly concealed by the city. The series is now recognized as a finalist in the Scripps Howard Awards for Journalistic Excellence, the awards that are hosted by our parent company, E.W. Scripps. Joining us now is Geoffrey King, executive editor at Open Vallejo, for more. Thanks so much for being here. So tell us about this 5th alleged victim of police misconduct. What do we know about this?
Thank you for having me. The 5th victim that we uncovered just a couple of years ago was named Darryl Dean Mefferd. And to properly tell this story, we have to go back to our launch in 2020, when we launched our nonprofit newsroom with a story about a clique of officers who were commemorating fatal shootings by bending the tips of their star-shaped badges to mark each civilian they killed. And for that story, we built a first-of-its-kind database of every Vallejo police killing and shooting since 2000. A couple years later, a confidential source came forward, a cop with a conscience, and said, "Do you know about the one at the crisis center?" And I said, "I didn't," and we began to dig. Well, it turns out that Mr. Mefferd was likely killed very much like George Floyd. He likely died, according to forensic experts, from something called prone restraint cardiac arrest, but the city and the county had classified his death as an accidental overdose. And so, like other killings in police custody that did not involve firearms in Vallejo, the circumstances of his death were concealed by the city. But unlike those, the very fact of his death was concealed by the city.
And this was a massive investigation. One of the biggest turning points we know was when the former public records coordinator for the police department realized that records were actually being destroyed and tampered with. And Joni Brown spoke about that dramatic moment at a deposition in 2022. Let's have a quick listen to that.
It was a skimming of the record. I looked at it and was like, that's not supposed to be gone. I screamed. I was enraged. I was very upset. I was very upset.
So your nonprofit originally filed the public records lawsuit that got this whole ball rolling. Tell us about what you did from there. At that point, how did you find out about all of this evidence and take it to the point of reporting it all?
We had been hearing for some time rumors from various confidential sources that Vallejo police had been destroying evidence of police killings, perhaps illegally. So our attorney, Sarah Burns of Davis Wright Tremaine, in a deposition, asked Ms. Brown whether that was true. Ms. Brown, I think, is an honest person. She was the public records coordinator for the police department. She has since left the department for another agency. Ms. Brown said to Ms. Burns, "Oh, I thought that you wanted me to describe what my physical reaction was to learning that these records were destroyed." And Sarah, who had built up a good rapport during this deposition, she said, "Actually, sure." And that's what led to this clip. And once Ms. Brown admitted this, all the air was sucked out of the room. I mean, it completely changed the tone.
Well, we're running out of time. We're up against a commercial break, but we appreciate you being here. Congratulations on such amazing journalism. Geoffrey King, Open Vallejo.